Have you ever started your day with just a slice of toast and a quick cup of coffee, only to find yourself dragging by 10 a.m., snapping at small things, and wondering quietly, is this just what getting older feels like? If that's familiar, I want to offer you a gentle but powerful idea. What if the reason you feel slower, less energized, less like yourself, has nothing to do with your age and everything to do with your breakfast? What if I told you that the secret to better circulation and lasting energy isn't in your medicine cabinet, but right there in your fruit bowl? Hi, I'm Dr. Catherine Rocker. I've spent the last 30 years helping men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s reclaim their strength, confidence, and vitality without pills, injections, or gimmicks. And what I've learned is this: the male body doesn't break down because of time alone. It breaks down when it runs out of the raw materials it needs to stay strong. And some of the most powerful materials come from 3 very specific fruits. Today, I'll show you exactly how 1 red fruit, 1 green, and 1 yellow can change how you feel, how you think, and how you move through the world, even after 60. So don't go anywhere. Because the next 5 minutes might just give you back the next 5 years of your life. Let me tell you something I see almost every day in my practice. A man usually in his late 60s or early 70s walks into my office. He's not in pain. He's not panicking. He just looks tired. Not the kind of tired that goes away after a nap. A deeper kind. Sometimes he says things like, "Doc, I just feel slower," or "I don't wake up with the same drive anymore," or "Nothing's wrong, but something's not right." Most of the time, he blames it on age. And I get it. That's what we've all been taught to do. But here's what I want every man over 60 to know: your body whispers long before it screams. And those whispers, if you listen, tell you exactly what's missing. Maybe your legs feel heavy in the morning. Maybe you're not waking up with that familiar firmness anymore. Maybe your mind is foggier than it used to be, or you snap at your wife more often, not because you're angry, but because your system's running on fumes. And here's the truth I want you to hear clearly: these aren't signs of failure. They're signals. They're messages. They're your body's quiet way of saying, I need help. Not help from a pharmacy. Not help from another test result. Help from real food. From real fuel. You see, energy, intimacy, even focus, they all start with one thing: circulation. And circulation isn't just about your heart. It's about your legs, your brain, and yes, down there too. So if you've been feeling off lately, a little slower, a little flatter, a little dimmer, please don't ignore it. You're not fading. You're just underfed at the level that matters most. And in just a moment, I'm going to introduce you to the first fruit that helps turn all of this around, starting with your blood flow. If we haven't met yet, I'm Dr. Catherine Rocker. I've spent over 30 years walking beside men in their 60s, 70s, even into their 80s, men who once thought their best years were behind them. And I want you to know this: they weren't. And yours aren't either. You see, I didn't get into this field to write prescriptions. I got into it because I kept seeing good men, proud men, lose their spark, not because they were broken, but because no one ever taught them how to rebuild. What I've learned is simple but powerful: your body still knows how to work. It still remembers strength. It still remembers desire. It still remembers how to recover if you give it the right signals. And those signals? They don't come from another pill or patch. They come from food. But not just any food. The right food, in the right order, at the right time of day. Today, I want to introduce you to 3 simple fruits. Not exotic superfoods. Not trendy fads. Just real, familiar foods that your body already understands and craves more than you realize. One of them restores blood flow, one fuels your hormones, and one gives your cells the steady energy they've been begging for every morning. You may have walked past them in the grocery store 100 times, never knowing that they could help you feel more awake, more confident, and more like yourself again. So if you've been looking for a place to start, you're in the right place. Stay with me, because next, we're going deep into the biology behind it all in a way that actually makes sense. And after that, we'll get to the first fruit. The one I call the circulation supercharger. Let's clear something up right now. I'm not here to give you a sugar lecture. I'm not telling you to eat more fruit just because it's healthy. No, I'm here to help you understand why your body, at this stage of life, actually depends on the right fruits to function like a man again. See, after 60, something shifts deep inside your biology. The blood vessels that once opened with ease start to stiffen quietly. Nitric oxide, that miracle molecule that tells your arteries to relax and let blood flow, starts to decline. Your testosterone? It doesn't just drop, it gets suppressed by stress, poor sleep, and imbalanced blood sugar. And your mitochondria, the little engines in every cell, start running on fumes. What that means for you is simple. Less blood to the brain, less fuel to your muscles, less energy in the bedroom, and more of that dull, drained feeling that no nap ever seems to fix. But here's the good news. The right fruits don't just fill your stomach. They send instructions to your blood vessels, your hormones, and your energy systems, telling them, it's time to wake up. The fruits I'm about to show you aren't just sweet. They're strategic. One of them helps your arteries relax, improving circulation where it matters most. Another helps your body lower cortisol and build testosterone without pills or patches. And the third? It feeds your cells with the exact nutrients they need to produce steady, masculine energy, the kind that lasts through the afternoon, and into the evening. This isn't about nutrition. It's about reconstruction. It's about fueling the biology that makes you feel like a man again. And if that sounds like something you're ready for, then let's not wait any longer. Because the first fruit? It's not just powerful. It's delicious. And it might be sitting in your fridge right now. Let's talk about the red powerhouse, the pomegranate. I want to introduce you to one of the most powerful fruits nature ever created for a man's body after 60. It's not rare. It's not exotic. But it is quietly revolutionary. The pomegranate. Now, most men see it as a decorative fruit, something for a salad or a juice bar. But what they don't realize is that this little red powerhouse holds a key that your arteries have been waiting for. Let me take you back to a man named James. James was 72 when he came to my clinic. Still sharp, still proud, but something inside him was fading. He sat down across from me, looked me straight in the eye, and said, "Doc, I don't feel like a man anymore." He wasn't talking about ego. He was talking about blood flow. About intimacy. About waking up every morning and feeling flat emotionally, physically, intimately. Now, here's what most doctors would say. That's just part of aging, but I don't believe that. Because the science says otherwise. What James was experiencing was something called vascular stiffness, when blood vessels lose their flexibility and can't deliver blood efficiently, especially down there. Here's where pomegranate comes in. This fruit is loaded with something called polyphenols, and more specifically, a compound named punicalagin. Think of polyphenols as fuel for your blood vessels. They fight oxidative stress, they protect the delicate lining of your arteries, and most importantly, they boost nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes and opens up blood flow like turning on a faucet. What's amazing is how fast it works. In clinical studies, men who drank 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice every morning noticed significant improvement in blood flow and erection quality in just 2 weeks. No pills, no prescriptions, no side effects. Just real biology finally given the green light. So that's exactly what I told James to do. Every morning, 1 small glass of 100% pure pomegranate juice, on an empty stomach, before anything else. And within 10 days, he came back to my office not just with a story, but with a smile I hadn't seen before. He said, "Doc, I feel taller. I walk different. And my wife, she's looking at me different too." We both laughed. But deep down, I knew something important had happened. Circulation had returned. And with it, confidence. So if you've been feeling like the spark is gone, if things aren't working like they used to, don't blame your age. Look at your arteries. Then, look at the pomegranate. And remember, this is just the first fruit. Because while pomegranate opens the gates, the next fruit is what fuels the fire. Up next, we're going to talk about the green powerhouse that helps restore your testosterone, naturally, steadily, and without side effects. Let's keep going. If the pomegranate is the gatekeeper, the fruit that opens the highway for blood to flow, then the avocado is the quiet builder working behind the scenes to bring your fire back. I want to tell you about a patient named Michael. He was 68, a retired architect from Arizona. Healthy on paper. Blood pressure under control, labs mostly fine. But one afternoon, he sat across from me, eyes low, and said, "Doc, I don't feel like a man anymore. I don't want to talk about it. But I feel like something essential is just gone." And I knew exactly what he meant. It wasn't about performance alone. It was about energy, presence, vitality. The quiet power that makes a man feel grounded in his skin. What Michael was describing, like so many men over 60, wasn't just emotional. It was hormonal. Testosterone, to be exact. Now here's something most men don't realize. Testosterone isn't just about libido. It's the fire in your gut when you wake up with purpose. It's the strength in your handshake. It's the steadiness in your voice when you say, "I've still got it." But testosterone doesn't vanish overnight. It gets slowly strangled by stress, by inflammation, and by missing nutrients. And that's where avocado comes in. This creamy green fruit is one of nature's best hormone supporters. It's rich in monounsaturated fats, the raw material your body uses to make testosterone. It's packed with zinc and magnesium, two minerals that regulate hormone production and keep your nervous system calm. And here's the magic part. Avocado delivers vitamin B6, which lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that quietly chokes out testosterone every single day you don't sleep well, don't eat right, or carry silent tension in your body. So I gave Michael one simple instruction: half an avocado a day. Mashed on toast. Sliced with eggs. Or even just with a spoon, a pinch of salt, and olive oil. Within a week, he emailed me at 6:30 in the morning. Subject line: "You won't believe this," he wrote. "I woke up early. I had energy. I didn't shuffle to the bathroom like an old man, I felt awake. I felt present. And last night, well, let's just say I felt more like me again." That's not hype. That's not a supplement ad. That's biology realigned with the right raw material. So if you've been feeling flat, not sad, not broken, just distant from yourself, don't ignore it. It may not be your mind. It might be your hormones, and your hormones respond beautifully to something as simple as half a fresh avocado a day. And when you pair it with pomegranate, you don't just open the highways, you fuel the engine. But we're not done yet. Because now that the blood is flowing, and the hormones are firing, there's one more piece of the puzzle. The part that brings it all together: energy. Not just a spike, but sustained, cellular, steady energy. And for that, you need the most overlooked fruit of them all. Let's talk about the yellow powerhouse you probably haven't thought about since childhood, the banana. We've opened the arteries with pomegranate. We've reignited hormone balance with avocado. But there's one more layer we haven't talked about: cellular energy. Because what good is blood flow and testosterone if your cells are too depleted to use them? This is where the banana quietly steps in. Not flashy, not trendy. Just fundamental. Let me introduce you to Thomas. Thomas was 73 when I met him, a retired school principal, proud, organized, and deeply, quietly tired. He told me, "Doc, I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. But I wake up already exhausted. It's like my tank's empty before the day even starts." That hit me hard. Because I've heard that same sentence from hundreds of men over 60. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's cellular depletion. Your body is trying to run without fuel. So I asked him one simple question: what do you eat in the first hour after waking up? And his answer was all too common: honestly, nothing. Maybe just coffee. There it was. No fuel equals no fire. See, the male body after 60 doesn't just start up on its own. It needs a spark. And the banana is one of the cleanest, most complete sources of that spark nature ever made. Here's why. Bananas are rich in potassium, the mineral that helps regulate blood pressure, relax blood vessel walls, and ensure the blood you freed up with pomegranate can actually reach its destination. They also deliver magnesium and vitamin B6, two key nutrients that calm the nervous system, prevent sugar crashes, and support smooth energy production inside every cell. But the real magic? Bananas contain tryptophan, an amino acid your body converts into serotonin, the feel-good chemical that lifts your mood, reduces stress, and helps you stay present throughout the day. So what did I tell Thomas? Simple. Start your morning with one banana. If you can, add a spoon of peanut butter and drink a glass of water. No pills, no powders. Just real food your body recognizes. 1 week later, he called me. He said, "Doc, I'm not just more energetic. I'm more even. I don't crash by mid-morning anymore. And my mind feels steadier." That's what happens when you give your cells the fuel they need at the right time of day. Because energy isn't just about caffeine. It's about how your body handles blood sugar, how your nerves fire, and how your brain feels supported from the inside out. So if your mornings have felt sluggish, if your steps are heavier, if your mind feels slower, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's your mitochondria crying out for help. And the banana? It answers that call. Now let's take a breath, because we've just walked through 3 incredible fruits. But here's where things get exciting, when you combine them. Up next, I'll show you how to turn these 3 simple fruits into a morning ritual that could transform your blood flow, your focus, and your entire day starting tomorrow morning. Now that we've looked at each fruit on its own, let me show you what happens when you bring them together. Because one of the most overlooked truths in nutrition, especially for men over 60, is this: it's not just what you eat. It's what you eat together, and when you eat it. See, each of these fruits is powerful on its own. But when combined in the right way, they create something more. Something I call the morning vitality trio. Let's break it down. Pomegranate opens your blood vessels, flooding your system with oxygen-rich circulation right when you need it most in the first hour of the day. Avocado steps in as the stabilizer, providing healthy fats and key nutrients that help balance your hormones, lower cortisol, and prevent the energy crash that so many men accept as normal. And banana? It rounds out the trio with potassium and natural sugars that keep your energy steady, your blood pressure in check, and your mood elevated from morning to midday. But here's the real beauty. These 3 foods don't fight each other. They amplify one another. The pomegranate increases nitric oxide, which helps the potassium in bananas reach deeper into your muscles. The avocado's fats slow down the absorption of the banana's natural sugars, giving you steady energy instead of a spike and crash. And the banana's vitamin B6 works alongside avocado's magnesium, to keep your nervous system calm and focused. It's a perfect storm in the best possible way. So here's my prescription, the one I've given to hundreds of men who felt tired, sluggish, disconnected, and who wanted their spark back without pills or side effects. Every morning, within 30 minutes of waking up, checkmark drink 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice, checkmark eat half an avocado plain, on toast, or with olive oil, checkmark eat 1 ripe banana alone or with a spoon of nut butter. That's it. No supplements. No complicated routines. Just 3 real foods your body understands, delivered in the right order, at the most powerful time of day. Try it for 7 days. Notice how you walk. How you think. How you feel in the quiet moments no one else sees. Because this isn't just about breakfast. It's about identity. About reclaiming your energy, your presence, and the deep, quiet strength that never really left you, it just needed the right fuel to rise again. Next, I'll show you the common mistakes many men make that block all this progress, even when they're eating the right foods. Let's make sure you don't fall into those traps. Now, before you start tomorrow morning with your pomegranate, avocado, and banana, there's something I need to warn you about. Because I've seen too many men do everything almost right, and then wonder why nothing's changing. And most of the time, it comes down to a few quiet mistakes, things that seem harmless, but slowly sabotage your efforts. Let's talk about them. Mistake number 1: skipping breakfast altogether. I know what some of you are thinking. I'm not hungry in the morning. Or, I just have coffee and go. But here's the truth. Your circulatory system is most receptive in the first 60 minutes after you wake up. Skip that window, and your body goes into stress mode, raising cortisol, tightening blood vessels, and draining your energy before you even begin. Mistake number 2: drinking juice with added sugar. You saw the word, juice, and grabbed a bottle off the shelf only to realize later it had more sugar than a soda. Please hear this. Pomegranate only works when it's pure. Look for 100% pomegranate juice, no added sugars, no blends, no concentrates. Even better if it's fresh or cold pressed. Mistake number 3: eating banana alone on an empty stomach. Yes, bananas are powerful, but their natural sugars absorb quickly. When eaten alone, they can spike blood sugar and leave you crashing mid-morning. That's why we pair them with avocado or nut butter. The healthy fats slow absorption, giving you smooth, steady energy instead of a roller coaster. Mistake number 4: overcomplicating the ritual. I've seen men turn this into a 12-step routine. Multiple supplements, powders, timing apps. No, this works because it's simple. 3 fruits. 1 routine. Every morning. Consistency beats complexity. Mistake number 5: expecting overnight miracles. You didn't lose your energy in one day, and it won't come back in one day either. But give it a week, and you might notice your steps feel lighter. Give it 2, and your mornings may feel calmer, more alert. Give it a month, and the man you thought you lost might just start showing up again in the mirror, and in the eyes of someone who loves you. So please, don't sabotage your comeback by doing too much, doing it wrong, or giving up too early. Because your biology is listening. And when you give it the right signal with the right foods, at the right time, it responds faster than you think. Now that you know what not to do, let's talk about what to do next, your first step, and how to make this new routine feel like something you own. We'll build a plan together, one that fits your life, your body, and your pace. Let's finish strong. Let's keep this simple. No big overhaul. No shopping list a mile long. No pressure to be perfect. Just one quiet shift starting tomorrow morning. Here's what I want you to do. The moment you wake up, before checking your phone, before turning on the TV, before the world pulls your attention away from you, go to the kitchen. Pour yourself 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice. Let it be cold, refreshing, and intentional. Then, take half an avocado. Slice it. Mash it. Eat it plain or on a piece of whole grain toast. Whatever feels doable, just make it real. Finally, grab 1 ripe banana. You can eat it alone, or add a spoonful of nut butter for a little protein. No need to measure. Just nourish. That's it. Wine: 6 ounces pomegranate juice, avocado, half an avocado, banana, 1 banana. Total time, less than 5 minutes. Total cost, less than your morning coffee. Total impact, more than you can imagine. Because you're not just eating fruit. You're sending a signal to your arteries, to your testosterone, to your energy centers that you're showing up for yourself. And when you do this not once, but again the next day, and the one after that, you're building something powerful. A rhythm. A ritual. A return. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. So tomorrow morning, as the sun rises, choose this. Choose something that makes your body feel heard. That tells your biology, we're not done. We're rebuilding. Because you deserve mornings that feel clear, legs that feel steady, and a quiet strength that walks beside you through the day. So here we are. You've walked with me through the quiet signs your body's been whispering. You've met James and Michael and Thomas, men just like you, who once thought slowing down was simply part of getting old, until they tried something different. Not pills. Not pressure. Not some overnight miracle. Just fruit. Just fuel. Just listening. Aging, you see, was never meant to be a fade out. It was meant to be a shift from chaos to clarity, from rush to rhythm, from chasing to choosing. And when you give your body the right tools, the right food, the right signal, it remembers. It remembers how to flow. How to repair. How to feel connected, alive, steady in your skin again. You don't have to become someone new. You just have to come back to someone familiar you. Because the truth is, you're not broken. You're rebuildable. And age? Age is not the enemy. It's the invitation to live deeper, truer, with more intention than ever before. So the next time you look in the mirror, don't look for the man you used to be. Look for the man who's choosing to rise again on his own terms. With pomegranate. With avocado. With a banana. And with quiet courage. That is strength. That is manhood. That is what aging can mean. And if this message touched something in you, even a small corner, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a brother, a friend, a father, a man who might be quietly wondering if it's too late. Tell him what you now know: it's not too late. It's just the beginning. If you've made it all the way here, that already tells me something important. You care. You're still curious. You haven't given up on your body, and more importantly, you haven't given up on yourself. So here's what I ask, not as your doctor, but as someone who deeply respects the quiet strength it takes to try again. Leave a comment below. Just type, yes, if you're ready to try the morning trio tomorrow. Or type, fruit, if you've already been using one of these in your routine. I read every comment because your story may be exactly what another man needs to see. And if this video reminded you of someone, a brother, a friend, a man who's been walking slower, laughing less, or quietly pulling away, share this with him. You never know how far a message of hope can travel. And finally, subscribe if you want more honest, practical, no-nonsense tips designed specifically for men over 60 who want to live, love, and lead with energy again. You're not alone in this. And you, my friend, are part of it now. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video.